All right, we're gonna try this again. See if we can get Brother Chop in here. Let's see. Hope everybody is doing good. Let's talk boxing, episode 10. Got a lot to talk about as usual, as usual. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun. What's happening? What's happening, my brother? My brother. Shout out to Wrestling Talk Radio. I'm just waiting on the champ, Chop Corley, to join us here. All right. I'm still working. I'm still reaching out to champ to get him in here. We're gonna see. Might be busy, y'all. These fighters are busy people. So anytime they take the time out of their day to grace us with their presence, I'm definitely thankful. You know, definitely appreciate it. Let's see. Keys. Did you see that? Did you see the Tyson Fury fight? Well, no. Let me ask you. Did you see Errol Spence? Matter of fact, I'm about to send you a request, man. I ain't gonna carry you in deep waters too much. Let me see. Let me see who out there. You knowledgeable enough with Errol Spence.
What's good, fam?
What's going on, my brother? Welcome. You on my side of the domain now, man.
What's good with you, fam?
I'm chilling
What's
out,
good?
man. I'm cooling it. People, this is my good friend, Big Keys from Wrestling Talk Radio. I've known Keys for a very long time now. Very good dude, good brother. Anytime WrestleMania happens, I'm over there at his crib, him and a few others, and we end up making it a good night. Big Keys, how's everything going, my brother?
Good, man. Everything's good, man. I'm sitting here chilling, watching Impact Wrestling and the NBA, man.
Okay. What's been going on Impact? I ain't been keeping up with Impact.
I'm watching the Rebellion pay-per-view right now.
Okay. Did anybody pop up? Anybody? Hold on. Let me fix this real quick. All right. Anybody new pop up? Any surprises?
No surprise as of yet. Ace Austin just won the X Division Championship for the third time. So there are rumors regarding Trey Miguel's contract with Impact Wrestling. So that might have been the reason why he's the X Division. I don't know yet. I still got to look into that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I cover y'all. If y'all don't know, Wrestling Talk Radio. Make sure y'all follow on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow us, like us on Facebook. Also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling Talk Radio. As well, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Trying to keep everything updated. I watch everything. AEW, WWE, Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan. If it's wrestling, I'm gonna cover
it. Facts.
If it's wrestling, I'm gonna cover it, no matter what. So yes, I'm been busy and everything. I try to do the wrestling wrap-ups. I might do probably will be a while till I do it. The next 2 Thursdays are gonna be busy.
Okay.
Because this Thursday is the I usually do my shows on Thursday. We the show or the wrap-up. But this Thursday is the draft, so obviously I'm doing it though. And then next Thursday I'll be in Charlotte for Mother's Day weekend.
Okay. Okay,
So
yeah. Anybody that follows wrestling, man, that's the guy you need to follow right here. His name is right up here, like you said, from WWE to AEW to Impact to New Japan to Mexico with AAA and them dudes.
AAA.
He got all bases covered, man. So keep doing your thing over there, my brother. Definitely proud of you and everything you got going on. I got to
Appreciate
ask
it,
you a
man.
little.
Shout out to your boxing fix, man, and everything. I always tell people, all the real boxing fans, they need to follow this page. And this dude, I don't know. I apologize in advance. I'm not with the boxing thing. I majorly same thing with UFC. I only watch the big matches.
Yeah.
Anything in the big match, I watch. If UFC, like, I don't even know about a title fight on UFC until it's advertised. And it's like this on pay-per-view. I'm like, well, then how long have you been talking about this fight?
Exactly. Yeah,
I didn't know. Real talk, the Tyson. I didn't know about the fight until probably last week.
They didn't have a lot of promotion, bro. You know what I mean? They didn't have a lot because I mean it was going to be in Wembley Stadium, which is going to have like over 90,000 people. So you would think that they would have, they would make it a big deal because they're saying that Tyson Fury said that this is his last fight. He retired after this fight.
He was on Pat McAfee's show on Tuesday, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Pat. He was hilarious on Pat McAfee's show and everything. He was talking about masturbating and everything. That shit was. He's he's a funny dude. He's a funny dude. Pat had a good interview. Matter of fact, Pat brought him on a couple months ago, and he brought him on show Tuesday. And Pat was like, he came back to him. He said, "You really gonna retire? Are you really gonna retire?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hang it up and everything like that." But as far as the fight's concerned, I knew there was a fight today, and I think I caught like the last round. That he knocked him out.
Knocked him out. Knocked him out. In the 6th round, hit him with an uppercut, man. It was pretty too. It was pretty. He, they were and then hit my man with an uppercut, and then that was it. He tried to get up. He stood up for a little bit and then stumbled over, and that was all she wrote after that, man. My man couldn't catch his balance. That was it.
I haven't seen too many of his fights. I did see the one where he fought Deontay Wilder. I remember I saw the 2 Wilder fights he had. I saw the one fight was actually the first fight they had was before the pandemic happened.
Right.
I remember because me and my coworkers that went up to Dave & Buster's. It was probably like around February 2020, and I remember after that the whole world shut down.
Yeah, it wasn't the same. Sports in general wasn't the same, man, because the fans, they add something to that live sports. Whether it's basketball, whether it's wrestling, whether it's baseball, football, it just or boxing, it just wasn't the same without the fans there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's for any sport, man. And I'm thankful that a lot of sports went on. I mean, a lot of sports did come back without fans, and it just wasn't the same. Like, you remember the bubble, the NBA with the bubble and everything like that. With the whole thing with the bubble and shit like that. It just, of course, wrestling fans, people who are wrestling fans, you already know they did Raw and SmackDown with no fans attendance for like months, and it just. And I remember I messaged you and I messaged Brian, my other homeboy, and I was sitting there telling y'all, how are we gonna make it? This was gonna be like for the rest of the year. And I'm sitting thinking like, I'm gonna have to find something else to watch.
Yeah, it was tough, man. Like even some of these fights, man, it just wasn't the same. It just wasn't. I watched it because I'm a fan, but I mean, at the same time, it was missing something. I'm used to seeing the fans go crazy after a good round or something exciting happens. I'm used to, the fans.
Let me ask you a question, because I know you keep up with the boxing and everything, and I know in UFC, I did see when UFC came back after the pandemic, they didn't have people in attendance. Were there any boxing matches with people not in attendance?
Yeah, they have fights where, like in a bubble kind of thing. They had it like in an arena where there was only like certain amount of people that were allowed there. They couldn't have like their entire tournament. They could only have, a select few. So, they had some boxing matches, but it's, it just wasn't the same. Um, Let me see. King of Love. Oh yeah. Appreciate you tapping in, my brother. But yeah, it was there, but it just
It's the same thing. Oh, okay. I don't remember watching any boxing matches with no audience, no people in the audience. So,
yeah,
but
and when you see those
I remember
things,
watching UFC, and UFC did like a couple fights with no one in attendance except the people coming down there. It was just weird listening to the music, and the crowd was like, "There's no crowd."
yeah,
So,
yeah, it
but
just
we're past
yeah,
that.
yeah, because I mean they had a fight this past weekend, Errol Spence and Ugas. I know you don't watch boxing. I don't know if you don't watch them all, but I don't know if you got a chance to catch that fight, because that was one of the more talked about fights.
Yeah, I was moving last week. I ain't seen, bruh.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Bruh, we're just still settling in, fam. Like I'm still just settling in. Like it's been crazy this past week. Like it just been. I ain't getting a chance to see nobody. I saw you post about it, and I saw the comments and everything like that. But other than that, I haven't really been able to see any boxing or wrestling stuff like that. And everything. Actually, trying to find some places around here to go watch some boxing, some UFC fights and everything. So I'm like, I'm new to this area, so I figured in a sports bar. It's like, I think, like 20 minutes away from me. When y'all come up, I'm definitely got to take y'all out there, because outdoor is eating place too. So during the summer time, it's going to be really nice outside. So we got to come up there and everything. We got to come up and everything. I'll put y'all over there. We get something to eat. We watch a fight or something like that. But I need to find out where everybody goes around here.
Yeah,
Down there.
man.
Well, y'all came to my crib.
For the most, yeah, yep. We came to your crib, so I mean, we really didn't go to a lot of bars other than maybe we went to Dave and Buster's. We were doing WrestleMania at Dave and Buster's first, and then we decided to switch it up and watch it at somebody's house because it got to be too long. The night, you know what I mean? Like, we had to get there super early.
We came to the agreement was like, how about we just do this? Why don't we just watch it at my crib going forward? We can get food, bring it to my crib. That way, if y'all want to get up and leave, y'all can get up and leave or whatever. Yeah. And bro, we started that way. We started, 7 years ago?
Has it been that long, Keith?
Yeah,
Has it been 7 years?
The last pay-per-view I think we all went to at David Buster was WrestleMania in 2015. I think it was 2015. That's when we made the decision. That's when we made the decision that, you know what, we're just going to do it at my crib.
Wow, it's been that long, huh?
It came, and actually, y'all don't know, I've known Sean for over 12 years.
Yes.
I've known Sean
for a very long time.
Shout out to Josiah, because I never knew about Sean. Josiah invited me to this laser tag event.
Yeah.
And that's when I met Sean. Me and Sean been rocking since.
My brother, man. My brother. Hey, hang tight. I'm getting ready to add world champion in here, DeMarcus Chop Corley, man. He just joined in, so I'm getting ready to add him. And yeah, man.
I'm trying to work with y'all a little bit. I ain't want to get in the show or nothing like that.
All right, bro. I appreciate you. Keith. Thank you for stopping through, my brother. You know it's always love. I'm gonna
go ahead and sit back and watch, man.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Take
it easy, man.
Yes, sir. And now to the show. We welcome the man himself, the legend, my dude, DeMarcus Chop Corley. Chop. How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain.
I hear that, man. I hear that. Well, I definitely appreciate you stopping through and, talking some boxing with us, man. We got a lot to talk about. So, I got to get some professional insight added to the show. Last week, I don't know if you saw the fight last week, we had Errol Spence versus your Dennis Ugas welterweight championship with Earl Spence getting the stoppage. I want to say it was either round 9 or round 10. It was late in the fight. So my question to you is Chop, what did you think about Errol Spence's performance first? I want to ask you, what did you think about Errol and the job that he did?
He did an amazing job. I know he started slow, and Ugas came out the gate fast, and he was throwing good body shots, and he had Earl being cautious of the body shots. Earl was scooting back, trying to not get hit with no good body shots to slow him down, because Earl hadn't even gotten started yet. But once Earl started finding his rhythm after the 6th round, his mouthpiece came out his mouth, and that really woke him up.
Yeah, I agree. I told I was watching the fight with my father, and when that moment happened and Ugas kind of had a shot and it just kind of rocked Earl, and he didn't have that instinct to take him out. Exactly. I told my dad, I said, this fight's over. To me, it sent a signal to me that fight was over. I could have been wrong, but without seeing that killer instinct right then and there, I'm like, this fight might be over if Errol continues doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he should at least try to get a knockdown.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. So now, since that fight happens, what that's potentially leading to. That's potentially leading to the fight that I don't want to say all boxing fans, because I don't like talking for everybody. A good majority of boxing fans, if you ask them what fight they want to see, they're going to tell you Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. So now we're in a position where this fight could be happening for all the belts. Undisputed champion at 147, which I believe, in my opinion, just speaking for myself, I think that's the right way to do it. If you're going to have both of those guys fight, it needs to be for all the belts, because those guys are two of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world. So, champ, let me ask you. You got Errol Spence and you got Bud Crawford. How do you think that fight plays out? If you had to pick an early winner, I know it's still early, fight hasn't been made yet, but who would you favor in that potential matchup?
It's hard to pick for me because both of them southpaws. I like both fighters, man, and Earl is more of a dangerous fighter when it comes to applying pressure and breaking his opponents down. And then you got Bud, who also apply pressure and break his opponents down, but from a longer range. He used that Tommy Hearns range that he uses when he fought Porter. It's hard to say, man. I say the fight gonna be a draw.
Ooh, Chop! I ain't heard that one. That's the first time I heard about a draw. But you know what? That would be.
And then they would do it again to try to settle the score to see who will win.
Exactly. I can see that happening because more money. If we're gonna look at it, money is a heavy factor in the boxing game. So fans would pay to see that fight twice, especially if the first one is back and forth, which what fans expect right now. If it's a back and forth fight, fans would pay again to see that fight. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm definitely excited for that, man. So I don't want to leave Ugas out because I still believe Ugas is a very, 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 very good fighter. So let me ask you this: you got Ugas. Who do you like at 147? For Ugas to match up with potentially? I know he got his eye issue. Hopefully everything, goes well. He's able to bounce back. But who would you like to see Ugas fight? What's going on, Jay Leon? What's going on, champ?
I would like to see him fight Ennis. Jerome Ennis.
Ooh, Chop. I like that. I like that one.
Shorty, the new kid on the block, and he putting shit in perspective, man. He's doing it.
That young boy is something serious. I'm waiting for him to get his shot. Let me ask you about it. What about Keith Thurman?
He'll beat up Thurman. Thurman ain't ready. Not for him, but that'll be a good fight.
The reason why I said Thurman is, do you think it would be good for Ugas to get that Thurman fight, let him get back right, because he had that, he had the mishap in this fight. Let's just say he fights Thurman and gets that fight underneath. Then would you put him in there with Boots, or would you just say, you know what, you ready for Boots right now?
I'll let him go in there and fight Boots right now and let Boots get that exposure and beat him. Boots is
Hmm.
ready.
I know. I agree. I agree. I'm waiting because I think what might happen is the winner. Let's just say Bud and Spence do fight. I think the winner Boots is in there somewhere as far as a mandatory on one of them sanctioning bodies, if I'm not mistaken. Him and Virgil Ortiz are both up there neck and neck. Hopefully everything works out well with him. I know he had to pull out his last fight. He had sickness, so hopefully everything goes all right with Virgil Ortiz. But I know both of those guys are up there. And if you're talking about the youth in the division, those two guys, if you ask me, Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz, those are your two guys to watch, at 147.
Yeah.
But today, champ, we're gonna fast forward and we're gonna talk about today. World
Tyson.
heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, yes sir, knockout win over Dillian White, uppercut, round 6. What
Yeah,
what what do you think, champ?
I thought the fight would be over by 8, but he caught him. I mean, it was a shot that Dylan didn't see, and he laid it on him, dropped it. It's right up the middle.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Everybody that's tuning in, thank you right now. You're watching your Boxing Fix. So anybody that wants to join me in Chop's conversation, send me the request and I'll add you. The only thing I ask is make sure you be respectful to me and Chop. He's taking his time out to do this. So I please ask that you be respectful to the both of us. But send me the request and you're more than happy to join in. But yeah, Fury, he did his thing, man. I'm with you. I didn't think it was gonna go past. I didn't think it was gonna go past round 10, to be honest with you. Um, and he retired. He
Yeah, that's what he
retired
said. He
after.
said he said this is it.
Yeah, yep. So with his career, if you look at his whole body of work, where would you put him as far as heavyweights of all time?
He's up there with Mike Tyson, Holyfield, and them. The guy has came from being at that level, and then he fell to the bottom, went through his addition and everything, and gaining weight, and now he done it again.
Yeah, I agree. I had somebody send me a message, and they said the conversation that needs to be had now is Tyson Fury in the top 3 as far as heavyweights?
I wouldn't say the top 3 because if you go to top 3, you got Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Holyfield. Then you got shoot. Then you start mentioning Wilder. That's 4 right there.
Yeah, and I mean we're not gonna mention Ali, Foreman, Frazier.
Yeah.
All those guys from back in the day. So I don't want to take nothing away from Tyson Fury by saying I wouldn't have him in my top 3. However, I do
Make
realize
the
how
top 10.
special he is. Yeah, I do realize how special he is, and to be 6'9" and to be 270 some pounds and move like that.
Yeah.
That's not it's
That's
not
not
normal.
normal.
So, yeah, you have to give him some respect. So Tyson, shout out to him, his career, his whole body of work. I enjoyed watching him. He was a showman. He did his thing. So he's definitely up there as far as top 10 heavyweights of all time in my book. But all right, so we gonna pivot now. So we done talked about last week. We talked about today. I want to take you to next week because we got 2 major fights happening next week. We got 2 females headlining Madison Square Garden, which I think that's awesome to see. I think female boxing is long overdue for the spotlight. So shout out to Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. That's going to
Mm-hmm.
be headlining Madison Square Garden on the 30th. And then on that same night, my man, we have Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez for the unification bout. So we're going to talk about Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor first. It's arguably, you got the best fighting the best right now. From a fan standpoint, that's what I want. I want to see the best fighting the best when it needs to happen. These girls are making that happen. So in the chat, hit me up too. Who you got? Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. But champ, I want to definitely ask for your input. Who we got and why?
I got Katie.
Ooh, okay.
I got Katie going to try to steal the rounds. Amanda's going to try to stop her, apply the pressure, and go for the knockout. But Katie can box and win rounds because she's not a knockout person like that.
Yeah, I can see that. Like me, I've been tussling back and forth between Amanda and Katie. Like some days where I want to pick Katie Taylor, I look at her fight with Delphine Pearson, and that fight just sticks out in my head because Delphine Pearson lost to an amateur. So I know styles make fights, and you can't really judge too much off one performance. But if I have to make a projection, a guess, because that's all it is. Who I think is going to win doesn't mean anything. But if I'm looking at who I think is going to win, I'm going to look at the body of work against certain opponents. I'm like, all right, how did you do against this opponent? This opponent, what was this opponent's record, and all that stuff. So when I saw that, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, if someone like this was able to make Katie Taylor pay for her mistakes, what is somebody like Amanda Serrano with world championships in about 8 or 9 different weight classes, 50 plus wins? What is she gonna do to Katie Taylor if she makes the same mistakes that she made against Delphine Pierce?
Yeah, you got a point there.
But I mean, it's what I think. That's all it comes down to, because you know better than anybody. Hey, it don't really matter until you get in the ring. That's all that matters. But we got a comment. We got Serrano by close decision and Shakur by unanimous decision or TKO. Valdez is tough, but Shakur is a sharp shooter. He beat me to the next fight that I wanted to ask you about, champ. We got Valdez and Stevenson. I love this fight. I'm gonna shut up for a little bit. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you know who
Shakur.
you got. Shakur.
I got Shakur pitching a shutout from round 3 on out, and if possibly he may stop him.
I've not just with that comment and not just you saying that. I've had a number of people tell me that they think Shakur might stop Valdez, and that's tough, man. Only because
I'm looking at round 10 or 11.
On the Shakur Stevenson stoppage. Okay. I can see that happening. Because Shakur, I got Shakur in that fight too. I think Shakur does an amazing job of not getting hit. And his fight IQ at such a young age is rare. From a fan standpoint, you look for certain. You had it. Or you still have it. You know what I mean? But you look at certain fighters, you're like, okay, that guy's gonna stand out amongst, everybody else. You look at certain fighters at home and you're like, there's something about him that just makes him stand out. And Shakur's got it. He's got that it factor. Super excited to see like what happens with this fight and what happens after that. Because there's in the weight range that he's in, there's a lot of talent.
But he may be moving up, though, 35.
That's true. That is definitely true. So let me ask you this: we gonna switch a little bit, but we still gonna kind of stay on the Shakur Stevenson topic, right? All right. So we got Javonte Davis, right? Love the kid, knockout puncher, one of the most exciting fighters in the game right now, right? So it's a possibility that he might be signing away from Mayweather Promotions. He's supposed to be a free agent. So they're saying that Eddie Hearn is gonna pretty much go all in to try to sign Tank Davis, and he's citing potential fights with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney if he does end up beating Kambosos and signs with the Zone again. So if Tank were to leave, do you think him signing with the Zone and doing fights with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, you think that's a good move for him? Or do you think he should look at possible other options?
I don't see it being a good move. I'd rather prefer him to stay with Al Heyman and let Al and then let that team make whatever fights that are available with the other fighters at 135. If Ryan Garcia is still with the Zone and Golden Boy, the fight can't happen unless the money's on the table. But I wouldn't leave Al Heyman.
So Al Heyman, they
PBC,
say that
PBC network is where it's at.
Okay. I've heard that too. That's they got a lot of talent over there. You know what I
But
mean?
they don't have a lot of fighters that on that level for Tank. See, Tank will run through
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Tank wanna fight the big name guys. He wanna be undisputed at 35 also.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's a bunch of names like we were saying that's sitting at that weight class, and I think part of the frustration, I guess you could say, that Tank has from what I've been reading, is the big fights. He's not really getting the big fights. I mean, yeah, he fought Santa Cruz, but Santa Cruz had to gain, some weight all the way up from, I want to say, like 127
Yeah,
around that
20,
he was at.
26. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So he had to balloon up to get to that weight. So they're saying, like, what's happening with the Devin Haney's of the world? What's happening with the Camboses? Lomachenko sitting out there. Let's see what's going on with Lomachenko. So
It's
there's
the
guys out
promoters.
there.
It's the promoters. It ain't the fighters. It's the promoters. They gotta come together and make it happen.
Yeah, yeah. And the
Dev, Devin,
frustrating,
Devin is with I think Top Rank now. He got that deal because he's fighting Cambosa.
yep.
Cambosa is with Top Rank.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan is with the zone. With the zone and Golden Boy.
Yeah. It kind of. I mean, I get it.
Lomachenko's with Top Rank.
Top rank. Yep. I mean, I get it. It's business. It's just that from a fan standpoint, it sucks sometimes because you miss out on certain fights because certain promoters may not want to work with each other.
So true.
It's like we just want to see the best. You hear these promoters say, "Oh, we put together the fights, the fans that that they want to see." That's not the truth all the time.
It ain't the
It's
truth.
no, it's not, and it sucks because it's like you have two. For example, I'll even use Bud Crawford and Errol Spence as an example. For so long, it took a while for this fight to potentially happen, or you can even say Mayweather Pacquiao. It took so long for that fight to happen.
For
For
Pacquiao to leave Bob Iron and go with Al Hammond, PBC.
exactly, and it shouldn't, from a fan standpoint, it shouldn't be that way. Like, you want to see, I want to see like certain fighters, just like what Errol Spence said after his fight. He said, "There's only one person I want." And De La Hoya made a comment. He made a comment on Twitter the next day. He said, "What about a potential matchup between Errol Spence and," I think he mentioned, Virgil Ortiz? And Errol commented. Errol was like, "I'm not interested in that. There's only one fight that I want."
Exactly.
But that, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to see as a fan. That's what I want. I want to say, nah, don't give me no other fighters. This is the guy I want right here.
That's the next welterweight fight for the end of the year coming out in September.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think they got to do that.
Even though Bud is gonna have pretty much a long layoff.
Hmm. But
But
that's the next one that needs to happen, man. They'll probably do that at Raiders, where the Raiders play at now. And they can charge people $100 for the pay-per-view, and I guarantee you, people will pay $100 for that pay.
yeah, it'll sell.
Absolutely, absolutely. Floyd is trying to protect Tank's undefeated record, but Tank wants he dare to be great. I absolutely agree with that comment. I think Tank, and here's the thing too. Here's what bothers me about some of the promoters. It's like, okay, they're protecting some of these fighters, but some of these promoters that were fighters, they had to fight big names in their career too, so they know what it takes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when I see De La Hoya protecting some of these fighters, I'm like, hold on, you fought Bernard Hopkins, you fought Shane Mosley, you fought Felix Trinidad, you fought Ike Forte, you fought all these people. You knew you had to fight them in order to get to where you want to be.
Right. So
You
why
know, so
can't these fighters do the same thing?
bingo. Bingo. That's the question. That's the question that, I keep asking myself, but I love the sport so much, man, that I just take the good with the bad and just say, you know what, this is what we got right now. I'm gonna make the best of it, man. So
It's called
um,
it's called Monopoly.
You, you're right. You're right, my brother. But I want to, all right. So I want to take the people that are gonna watch this show kind of in the mind of a fighter. So let me ask you: you've had a very successful career, man, world champion. You've reached the highest pinnacle that you can in professional boxing. So you've been to the highest level. So throughout your historic career, who is one person that you got in the ring with and you got to move it around a little bit? Let's just say they may have hit you one time and you're like, okay, this might be a little bit more than what I thought it was going to be. This dude might be faster than I thought he was, or he might be stronger than I thought he was. He might, his fight IQ might be better. Who's the person that sticks out in your head that people may not know about? That's like, yo, okay, I'm gonna have to break my toolbox to work.
It was in a gym. We were sparring, and then his name is Teddy Reed. He's from Jamaica originally, but he trained out of Palmer Park, Maryland, in D.C. And he hit hard. He's one of the hardest punches that ever hit me in a gym, period, with the gloves on.
Okay, and did he fight at a professional level, or he's just
Yeah.
one of
He won the USBA title at 140 pounds also.
Teddy Reed.
Teddy Reed. He see, this was back in '98 in the '90s because I turned pro in '96. Teddy Reed turned pro like '95, and he was in that era when we had just turned pro.
Okay. I think I know who you're talking
early
about.
2000, yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about because for a while I was getting him mixed up with David Reed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember David Reed. I was
Dave
getting
was
too
in
mixed up.
amateurs with me also, '96 Olympics.
Yep. So I was getting him mixed up with David Reed. But yeah, man, shout out to DC too, man. Shout out to the whole DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. I'm in Virginia Beach, so I'm not too far away from DC. I got some buddies that live up there.
Yeah.
So shout out to DC and that whole area, man. But yeah, man, I definitely appreciate you stopping through and hollering at us, man. This is you made it a good show. You made it a good show, and like I always, yeah, man, like I always tell people, man, the show isn't truly made unless we have people discussing boxing, because I can sit up here and talk for an hour, but not many people are as inclined to watch if I have someone like you or if I have other people talking boxing with me. So, champ, I'm forever grateful. I definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome, man. I'm
And
just relaxing after I didn't watch the fight tonight. Well, today earlier. I'm thinking it's nighttime.
Hey, yes, sir. Hey, it's a good time. It's a good time to relax. Before I let you go, man, some of these fighters, they've been doing like little exhibitions. Ricky Hatton is getting ready to come back and do his little exhibition. I know Floyd is going to do his little exhibition. Can we see my man Chop in a little exhibition, making taking himself to the bank real quick and making some millions?
It's possible. But Chop is still fighting at 140 pounds, 135. So I'm gonna stay in my lane. I ain't getting no exhibition unless it's gonna be worth my money and taking a shot from a bigger fighter, man. Them guys at 147 come down from 175. I'm a small guy.
Yeah. I can. Yeah, I can definitely understand that, man. If you going potentially suffer that kind of punishment, it's got to be worth it. And I'm getting older too. I can't move like I used to. With age, you still may have it, but I mean, Father Time is undefeated, man. Father Time is definitely undefeated.
Eventually, he'll catch up with you.
He'll definitely, yes, sir. But I'm gonna I gotta end the show, unfortunately, man. But promise me,
What's that?
that you'll be back, and we can have you back on.
We'll chop it up for the tank fight.
Okay, sounds good, man. Sounds good. We go live every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So whenever you're free and you see me live, please chime in and join the
Just
conversation, brother.
send me a notification on the 28th of May so we can do it for the tank fight.
Sounds good, my brother. Sounds good. I will shoot you that message. And we will see you again on the tank fight. I definitely thank you again for stopping through and holler at me, brother. And keep doing your thing in Chop's Kitchen, man. I see you out here stepping it up.
Oh yeah, man. Eventually, I'll be cooking it in somebody's kitchen. Eventually, my
That's
own
what it
kids.
is.
Hopefully, that's what it's about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And anything that, I know we got a little small channel, but anything that we can possibly do to help you out, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to get your own kitchen, there's something that we can do to help out. Shoot me a message and any and everything I can do to help you out, brother. You know you can count on us.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. But Chop, thank you, my brother. And I will see you and talk to you soon, man.
That's a bet. I'll let you.
All right, brother.
All right.
Peace. And everybody, I will see y'all next Saturday. Let's talk boxing. We're going to do it again. We're going to have us a good conversation. And like we said, you never know who might stop through. You might get a fighter. You might get fans. You might get trainers. You never know. But until then, I'll see y'all next week. Y'all be safe.